Hi, this is IMOX in my own experience, and today I'm with a young lady who has a number of questions. Let me hear the first question. What's your first question?
My very first question is
Mm,
I have a business.
yes,
It is making money,
yes.
but still broke.
Okay, you have a business, you are making money, but you are still broke. First of all, let me congratulate you. I don't think you're talking about yourself. I want to believe that you are one of the millions of people who are in business at your age, very young, you're in business, and you're wondering how to make it from day one to the next so that by the end of the month, you have something at the end that you can say, I have this and it's going to help me to grow my business. Um, so let's look at the main things about a business. A business is set up to solve a problem and get paid for that solution. Um, so it's a solution provider who is paid. That payment, let's call it income. It's let's call it gross income.
Mhm.
Everything that goes out, all of those outgoings, let's refer to them as expenses. So on one side you have what's coming in, and on the other you have what's going out.
Mhm.
When money comes in, it's because you have monetized your solution. When money goes out, it's because you are paying for some of the things that are going to keep your business alive so that you can continue with it month after month.
Mhm.
Now, if your business has a money retention problem, your business cannot retain money. It may be one or more of the following. The first is that your expenses are too high. The second is that your costing was done wrong. The third is because you haven't kept a good record of all of your expenses. Because if you say that you're going to keep it in your memory can fail you. If you are not going to keep it in a systematic way, you might find that you have paid twice or thrice for the same thing. There are also other pressures that come in. You set your price at X, but you had not factored in inflation. You had not factored in um, pilferage. You had not factored in, uh, you know, the repair, the replacement of things that keep being used up in a big way. Maybe a machine part or something as simple as a packaging, or the cost of internet or something. So you'll find that your business is failing to retain some of its earnings as a profit that you can reinvest, because you hadn't looked into all of the factors carefully, or because you are growing at a rate that you had not anticipated. You thought that your business can be small, but all of a sudden there's a very huge need for it to be big. And business speaks to you. And if it speaks to you and tells you that we need this so that we can continue being in business, then you have to um, make the purchase of that. If you hadn't factored those kind of things in your planning, in your pricing, then you'll always find that your business is racing ahead. The expenses are racing ahead of the income. And as a result, you'll always feel um, like exasperated. One of the things that people always forget is that when you set up a business, you have set up a business so that it can employ you. If you fail to understand that, then you'll find that you're always going back into your pocket to support your business, which is not what business is all about. Business is about making money for you to have more money in your pocket.
So the business is going broke and I'm also going broke.
Yes, both of you will be going broke because somehow you have not factored in all of the necessary things. You brought it down to a very good summary. And thank you very much. That may not be the full answer, but it will give you a direction. And the most important thing is to have a direction that you can follow, not to have all of the answers. Every business is different, so at least I've given you a direction to follow. What is your second question?
Still in records.
Yes. Record keeping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that I should be keeping or
What kind of records should you keep?
yes.
That may require a full lesson, but let me just mention something here. The moment you set up a business in your country, let's talk about Kenya today. The moment you set up your business in Kenya, one of the things that you must accept is that there will be many things that require your for you to you must recognize that government exists, and government must take part of your income at the end of the month, or at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the year. So it's important for you to keep records that can be audited by your auditor and by the Kenya Revenue Authority at some point. Now, once you know that your accounts, your incomes will need to be audited, to be observed by somebody else for their correctness, then you'll be forced to keep a record of everything. How much has come in? How much have you spent? How much has been retained? Where was it retained? Is it in a bank, or in a till, or in your pocket? So that it can get into your pocket. Where did it pass through? Because there's no way that you can run a business that brings in money during the day and then you put all the money straight into your pocket. No, it must pass. It is important that it passes through somewhere else as it routes back to your pocket as a salary. So you need to have the records that appertain to the income, where it passed through, which is most likely a bank or a SACCO, and what it paid for, and then how much was retained. That's very important. If you can complete that cycle, you'll be fine. There are also other things that you need to sort of like keep a record of. Why did you start the business? And then any record concerning where you have started the business. Between you and your landlord, if the building isn't yours. Between you and your employees, the employment records. Between you and your lender. So those financial records must be kept extremely well. The staff records must be kept very well. And any record between yourself and your landlord, all of those are very important records that every business must have. You'll not believe it, including Safaricom. As big as it is, it must have at least those at the very minimum. And then anything else. Yes.
There is something that you have mentioned about me funding a business that is going broke. And I thought of it in terms of, could I be going to a cycle of debt? And if yes, what am I supposed to do?
I'm not very clear what you might mean by cycle of debt, but let me just assume that it is the following: that you are borrowing, that you are earning, and you are spending even what you don't have as an earning, so that you are borrowing to fund your expenses. So you're earning 100,000.
Yes.
But somehow, at the end of the day, you have still borrowed another whole 50,000. So that when the next month comes, when the next income comes in, whether it's from a profit from your business or a salary or whatever it is, your dividends, somehow you're still in debt. So what you need to do is to, first of all, to keep a record of every single thing that you use, that you pay. And it's like, it really has to be done like that. Have a notebook or your phone or your computer. At the end of the day, you should list down everything that you've done, that you've spent money on that day. Suppose you gave somebody 100 shillings. Note it down. James, 100. And it's also important for you to note down what it was for, so that you know whether he's going to pay you back or not.
True.
Credit, bundles. You know, you used it some miscellaneously along the roadside because you passed through a place and you felt that you must eat a mandazi, and you used 30 shillings. Note it down. Do that for 6 months. You'll see why you are in debt. It will explain to you exactly why you are in debt and where you are indebted to. Because you might be borrowing an extra 50,000 and all of it is just for fun. But for you, you think that it's very important for it to be there. But it's really just to toss around, because you haven't gotten to know exactly where what you're spending it on.
So that means it is helping me trace every detail, every coin, where it goes. Whether I send money through M-Pesa, I account even for transaction cost.
Yes, absolutely.
That will actually tell me what this business is doing. Is it
yes
running or just
yes. You must do that, even if not for yourself. I don't know, so that you can know, because you might there are very many people who work very hard, very smart, but they're very poor at balancing keeping their records, tracking and tracing their expenses, so they can know what they need to cut off, where they need to spend more, and what they need to spend less, and some that they need to cut off. And then when the guy is 56 years of age, he starts seeing retirement on the horizon, and he begins to look back and begins to wonder, where exactly did I make a mistake? From when he's been working from when he was 20, and he's beginning to ask the question when he's 56. And all this time he's been living in a debt. What did you call it?
A cycle.
A cycle of debt.
Yes.
So he was being kept alive by other people's money, not his own. OPM. People use OPM very well, other people's money, for growth. But it's better that you use it for growth than use it to waste. So the secret is to track, to trace every single shilling that you earn. And by shilling, I mean even the 50 cents. Yes.
Having the details of everything, the transcript of everything that I do in that business.
Yes. You need to have all of that written down, or at least somewhere, so that you can read and refer to. Then at the end of the 6 months, you can now review it. You've been reviewing it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, but at the end of the 6 months, you should definitely sit and ask yourself, is this how I want to live my life? Because if it goes beyond 6 months, that's a habit, that's your lifestyle. It'll be very hard to break.
Thank you. So I think my take home point is when someone asks me what my business, how my business has performed last month, I should have an answer, not of I think, but I should have
Numbers.
Numbers.
Yes.
Figures.
Absolutely.
That are speaking.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the next question is?
This is from a friend of mine. They asked that, okay, the life of after payday, it's a survival mode from that point.
So you have 2 months of money and 29 days of brokenness.
Yes. What is that mistake that they're doing after a payday? Or what should they do to rectify that?
Number one, after they've done it for 6 months, they should have a record of what it is that they're spending their money on. And then they want to ask themselves, am I spending right? And rectify that. And they must be very brutal with themselves. Because if they're not, life will be brutal to them. So you need to be brutal to yourself before life is brutal to you. And decide that I'm going to cut off this, and I'm going to cut off that, and I'm going to move from this estate to that other estate because I can walk to work, because it's cheaper, because it's, all of those things. If you drive a big car, you've got to reconsider that, having that big car that uses so much fuel, and settle for a smaller one. If you're living whatever it is that you're spending on, check on it once again, and yet again, and then again, and ask yourself, what can I cut back on? If you cannot, then you need to have a second revenue stream, which I advise everybody to have. You might say, well, me, I'm the employee kind. I'm not the employer kind. I'm not the business kind. I'm the one who wants to be told what to do. Well, you'll have to just know what to do. Because nobody's going to come and tell you, do this. Yeah. So you need to sort yourself out yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to come and sort you out. I have seen something very interesting with the youth. There are very many ladies who want to live a certain life, but they don't want to, but it is beyond them. I'm trying to say this very carefully so that I don't come out as as a very insensitive person. But they are living a life they want to live a life that is way beyond them. They want to drink at somebody's expense. They want to eat at somebody's expense. They want to travel at somebody's expense. They want to live a life that just isn't theirs. That is a different category of people, and I'm not addressing them here right now. I'm addressing people who wake up and work, go to work, and whatever your work is, and then come back home to handle the day's issues, to review your day. Honest gain, not what I've just explained. So we need to know exactly what we're talking about, because I'm talking about people who are gainfully employed and who are trying to live within their gainful employment, not that other category. I'm talking about people who wake up, go to work, come back home, review the day. At the end of your review, you must find out what it is that you need to remove, cut back on, reduce.
So that means I will shorten those 90 days of a month
to the normal month. It's important for me to explain something. The moment that your money comes in, you should divide it into three. A saved amount by force by fire. You must save something. And then what you need and what you want. The first guy to remove is the saved amount. That guy is going to keep you alive later. That amount is going to keep you alive later when things are different, either because you have aged or because you have left work for whatever reason, or because just things have changed. That must be put aside. Well, some people start saying, well, let's think religiously, and let's also remove tithe and offering and so on. Good. Do it. But whatever remains, divide it into three. What is going to look after you in the future, what you want, and what you need. Okay. What you want is where you spend a lot of your time observing, because it's a want. You don't have to have it. The needs, you may not do much about them. If you can reduce the amount that you spend on a need, the better. But on the want, that is where the machetes come out and the pangas come out, and it starts cutting off, digging up, burying. Yeah. So that you have less of your wants are met, and the money that was there is spent mostly on a need, or preferably on what you've saved for the future.
I think for that one I've learned something, because I think many times saving comes as the last thing.
Yes, it should be the first one.
From what you're teaching is, let it be the very first.
Always.
Your salary for the future.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Any other question?
No.
Not for now. This has been IMOX, your favorite podcast, where you learn how to live really good lives.